Hello everybody, welcome to another video about Gun Gamers Productions. We're just selling out now, it's great.
But we're selling out to ourselves, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, so we get to do things exactly how we want because we're paying us, it's great.
Yeah.
We were getting behind on bar tabs with just going with YouTube funds, so.
So we're going to start off by talking about our upcoming event. What event is that?
Gun Gamers Productions presents.
Oh, I've been saying Giggle P.
Okay, it's Overture. Jesus.
Giggle P presents Overture.
Yes, Overture. It is our first fully top to bottom self-produced, what I would call major event. We've been hosting events that
Locally.
For years.
Yeah. So
We all
that,
remember Attrition, right, from last year?
yeah, and events from long before then. But this is our first big event, and we have Kyle and I, the two people who are doing the white cell and all the admin stuff for this.
Yep.
And on either side of us, we have our dashing faction commanders.
I'm Lutz, the tan commander for Primeval.
And I'm Jim, the Green Commander for Ouroboros.
So that is basically they're your commanders. So let's start off. Okay, first of all, what is Overture? Like, what is this event going to be like? What's our format?
Oh, okay. So the format for this event is going to be like a 12-hour continuous play. What I mean by continuous is we're not going to do lunch breaks. We're trying to a degree, discourage going back to your car. There will be exceptions. Like your gun explodes in half, okay. But you shouldn't be going back to your car because, well, I have a gallon of water in it and I want more. Prepare. Bring it with you. So really you should be carrying everything you need for 12 consistent hours, which kind of gives it that more stressful play, I feel. Where you know you're not going to necessarily, if I can talk, get like a 30-minute, hour-long, sit down, take a long breather.
No, what you do is you're going to be wanting to bring everything with you that you're going to need for that 12 hours, which is a bit different than a lot of other games, but it creates a unique environment for it, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, and the other thing too with that is there will be in-game mechanical ways for resupplies for things like water.
Yep.
So you don't have to bring all the water you're going to need for 12 hours, but we do require you to have at least 2 liters of water on your person at the start of the game. And that should get you through for a bit, but there will be refills for water available at your platoon respawn.
Yeah. Remember, this game is taking place in July. It's going to be warm. I, being the physique that I am really hoping for overcast and maybe a little dreary, but I don't think we'll get that lucky. I think it's going to be probably bright and sunny and melty hot. So, dress for that, kit for that. A lot of people like to do like direct action kits because they look sweet. I tested one out just to see what my night kit would work like this last weekend. I had a full-on helmet, comms, plate carrier, just about died. Don't wear that during the day.
Depending on what your tolerance is.
Depends on your tolerance,
of course.
yeah.
But yeah, don't overload on cool guy just for cool guy. You know? Go with practical.
The name of the game is definitely sustainment in
Yes.
this case.
Yes.
So 12 continuous hours, you have to have everyone with you at all times.
Yeah. And now you don't have to have like sleep gear.
Right.
Sleep gear and all that type of stuff you don't need. We're only going to be out there from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m.
Correct.
So you're just going to be out there for one day. Our goal is basically to get the most gameplay in a single day that we possibly can. Because we're trying to really occupy that niche of, okay, you come out, you play the whole day, and then you get to go home or go to a hotel or whatever.
Well, you think about how a lot of games run that have that midday break, and like it's kind of nice, but if you think about it, there's always that it takes forever to get everything rolling again.
Yeah, you get stoppages, and then you lose a bunch of people.
And that 1 hour break becomes a 2.5 hour break, becomes we lost 50% of people because, they just didn't come back from lunch, or they're talking, or...
Yeah.
And it burns it for the afternoon. Where
Really, we're trying to get more immersed into this long-term operation rather than just a standard airsoft game.
Yeah. Now, we said, obviously, you can go back to your car, but it is a strongly discouraged thing. It's in a case of you have equipment failure. is really the only reason you should be going back to your car.
You can't continue to play because your stuff's too jacked up.
Yeah.
Sure, I get that.
So along that, there's a whole BB thing we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
With different classes.
This is one of the best parts of it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, our big thing is, so first of all, proud to announce, we're going to be using Elite Force BBs for Overture and for all Gun Gamers production games for the foreseeable future. Shout out to Nigel at Elite Force and the Elite Force company as a whole for being willing to work with us. This is awesome. But we are going to be using in-game issued ammo only. And this is to bring that element that you normally only get at really hardcore immersive games, where there is a resource management element that I think adds a different level of interest to the game design and a different level of stakes to every shot that you take. And it puts everyone on a little bit more of an even playing field in terms of total ammo, because you don't just have somebody coming out with 40 magazines all loaded to the gills, or, say you've got a cap on the number of magazines someone can have. Okay, but then they load up on EPM 1s.
Yep.
And you also get a little bit of a difference in the ballistic potential, because now everyone's on the same playing field for the ballistic potential for their class.
So yeah, you don't have what you run into, I see a lot at a lot of the more casual of a game, is you'll get your squads of guys who are, not to toot our own horn, but like our guys who've been playing for a long time, who are all running fairly well-tuned guns, who have heavier weight BBs, who have the EPM 1, something like that. And we have more rounds, more experience, and we're cutting through brush, where other guys who are newer have lighter ammo. They can't cut through the brush. They don't have as much equipment and as many mags. This takes all that and balances it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, it allows newer players to compete with more experienced players. You're all on the same level, and it also allows us to play with classes and give them unique features and powers that isn't otherwise available.
It neuters that pay to win to a degree.
It really
which
does.
Is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also means that when we give .4s to marksman rifles, they actually have a very significant ballistic advantage over everyone else who's using 2.8s.
Yes.
I think it brings a lot more realism to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the riflemen are not going to carry nearly as much ammo as those machine gunners, which are, marksmen are definitely not going to carry as much ammo as everybody else.
Exactly.
That stuff's heavy.
Yeah. And the realism is kind of like a secondary concern, because we're not really aiming for a total military authenticity feel.
Yep.
This isn't what I would call a traditional milsim game, but we're organizing it like it is.
Well, the guns themselves are functioning in a traditional capacity, but we're not doing a real country on country conflict. We're staying away from that. So it allows that spread where you can have a lot of immersion. You can bring your replica, your impression kits out if you want to be like, a bunch of guys want to rep keg or something like that. They can go out and do that. But also someone who's a little newer isn't intimidated because they don't need a very specific loadout to come out and play.
So, along with our organizational structure, we have our 2 teams.
Yep.
But we also have subdivisions of all that stuff. So we're going to break it down in a much more militaristic way, but loose in how it's going to be handled. So there's going to be platoon leaders that are going to be run by gun gamers.
Yep.
But we're not going to be in-your-face platooners. We're not going to be, you got to do this or else this crazy stuff's going to happen. We're going to give you a mission. We're going to give you a guidance, but it's going to be a lot of player-driven in terms of how it's executed.
Yes.
The ultimate goal is that platoon leaders, as members of staff, are responsible for the safety and for the level of enjoyment, to an extent, of the people under them. The main goal of a platoon leader is to keep the game organized and keep the game fun. Right. So we want platoon leaders to be handing out missions. We want platoon leaders to be collaborating with players on how their platoon and their squads are going to handle things. But we ultimately don't want this to be a strict, hardcore, you're going to dig ditches and all that type of stuff. No, it's going to be airsoft missions.
Yeah.
Because we're building our own universe, we get to determine how the function of the command structure works in that universe.
Yeah.
Part of the positive of that, of having our platoon leads be guys that are in gun gamers, at least for this one, right? For the first one here, is all those guys, we've all worked together, we've all played together, we've all helped host games together. And so any kind of lulls in gameplay or massively uneven, we can get on channel with White Cell with these guys, and it'll be easy to keep game flowing and keep the game fun.
Yeah.
No one has ever gone to an airsoft game and been like, boy, I was on the side that was getting just smashed into a rock all day, and that was cool. Yeah. Right? Or even if you're on the winning team, if you're just rolling them constantly back to their spawns, it just gets like boring after a while, right?
Yeah.
So this will keep it where we can keep a good flow and a good back and forth to where everyone's on the same page and it can keep things moving.
Yes.
Well, that level of collaboration between administration and chain of command too enables us to do much more spontaneous, cool missions that we can design. You know, we're going to have things in our pocket. We've got a lot planned.
Yes.
But we're also going to be able to pull things out of, hey, this thing is happening that we know of because we're talking to every level of the chain of command. We can roll with this and make something really cool happen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And now broken down from there, that also comes into the squad structure. So the squad structure is a little different from a lot of games too, where we have the same relative squad size, 8 to 12 players, but we have a totally different breakdown of specialty classes.
Yes.
We have 4 floating specialty weapon slots per squad, and those can be filled with whatever specialty weapons class you want.
Yep.
What are our specialty weapons classes?
So we have the light machine gun.
Yeah.
We have the medium machine gun. We have the designated marksman rifle.
Correct.
And we have the automatic rifle. And that's a new one that I think is pretty interesting. So basically break down these classes. It's all in our rule set. Light machine gun and medium machine gun are belt fed. The medium machine gun is a belt fed with at least a 16-inch barrel with a 308 or greater caliber cartridge that the real one is chambered in. Point of that is that you get a boosted energy limit, and that gives you a little bit more range, but at the cost of a minimum engagement distance, and you have to carry a sidearm. So then you've got the light machine gun, which is just any belt-fed machine gun that uses box or drum magazines. But then you've got the IAR class, or the automatic rifleman class, and that's where, as I just said, the IAR would live. So something like the M27 IAR, the RPK, the MG36, or for our purposes, the Shrike kit. All these built-up automatic rifles meant for sustained automatic fire, but predominantly designed to use standard magazines. So we're going to have that as a class that's enabled to use full auto, but another twist is our rifleman class is actually incredibly powerful at this game.
Yes.
And compared to the IAR class, or automatic rifleman class, the automatic rifleman class only gets to carry 6 grenades out into the field with them, which brings up our pyro cap we'll talk about in a second.
You're right, I did mention that.
And then we've got the rifleman class, which you're allowed to have as many of on your squad as you want.
Yep.
But your rifleman class gets to carry 12 grenades and 12 launchables with a grenade launcher if they have it.
Yep.
So your rifleman class is a powerhouse of pyro.
Also, what's unique that we're doing is with the marksman class. Now, traditionally, you would only allow bolt actions to be in this class with the high FPS limit they have. We are actually going to be allowing semi-autos in that class, and it's going to be balanced out in a similar way. It has to have a minimum of 16-inch barrel, and it has to be a 308 or larger style magazine. And also, for anyone who's considering, oh my god, I'm going to be able to do crazy things, no, you're not, because the ammo you're issued is going to be much, much smaller than any other class, and it's going to be about taking precision shots, not treating it like a rifleman, because you will instantly run out of ammo and be very sad about it.
Yeah. I will say we are ordering
a lot.
We're ordering over 1 million BBs for this
What
game.
some might call more than we needed.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
So let me address this concern right now. Everyone sees issued ammo games and is worried that they're not going to have enough BBs throughout the day. We are ordering as a baseline over 1 million BBs for this game. So your ammunition is going to be coming from your chain of command. Your chain of command is going to be responsible for making sure that you are supplied, and that also then is a bit of a carrot and stick game design feature where the carrot is, hey, engage with the chain of command, try to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, don't just go out and chase kills and do your own thing, and you get more BBs.
Right.
And then the stick is, oh, you didn't do all that, and now you're out of ammo? Whack!
Yeah, don't run out of
A
ammo.
lot of pleasure from that.
Having been at fixed ammo games more than a couple times, don't be the guy that gets into a solid engagement with like 50 rounds left. It's not a good time.
At the same time, that adds a bit of apprehension if you get attacked and you have 50 rounds
It's
left.
exciting.
It
It doesn't
is
end well.
very exciting. One of the most memorable ones is when our saw was down to, 200 rounds, and we're like, oh, we're going to hold this? Thankfully, those riflemen have, 2,800 grenades that they can bring with them.
Just throw grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of the grenades, that's the thing. We do have a pyro cap.
Yes.
Yeah, be very clear on this.
Yes.
I feel like there's potential for misinterpretation of this rule. So.
Yeah.
Especially what after I just said.
Yes.
So we do have a pyro cap that is specific to your weapons class, and the reason we have that is because we don't, again, it's to mitigate that pay-to-win element.
Correct.
Where someone comes out and they just bought a case of tag-ins, and they're just going to use grenades for everything. We kind of want to limit that.
Why are you bringing a 3-day assault pack? It's only 12 hours. It's just grenades. we don't need that. It's too much.
Yeah. We're trying to have it where grenades are also powerful at our games.
Yeah, they're more powerful than most games.
Yeah, they have a 20-foot kill radius. That's for launchables and hand thrown, because differentiating between the two types when they go off is never going to happen.
No.
But there's a 20-foot kill radius, and the only thing that protects you from grenades is being entirely behind hard cover. Like a tree bigger than your body, a full vehicle, a hard building wall, or a huge berm. Like, if someone throws a grenade in a room and you duck behind a couch, doesn't count. You're dead.
Yeah, couches aren't armored. Shocker.
Yeah. But that does mean that your weapon class that you're playing as has a grenade cap kind of conducive to how we would like that to be used.
Yes, it's designed it's like, as much as it is we enhance the grenades, because we noticed a problem with grenades in games is that people tend to either overthrow them or they just never get used. So by introducing the cap, it allows us to adjust classes so we can balance classes with more or less power as we need to. And it also gives us, people from overspammed and just failing to oh shit, that was a grenade, because they're going off every 2 seconds, and you just stop acknowledging it in your brain on some level.
Yeah. So, yeah, the other part, I think you've said, but I just want to be absolutely...
Yes, no.
It's that grenade cap is for the entire game, from start of game, from 11 a.m. till 11 p.m.
Yes.
That is it.
That's it.
Not, I have 12 on me, I ran out, I'll go back to my car and get another 12, because I only have 12 on me at a time. No. 12 for the day.
Yep.
Yes.
So you can throw 1 an hour is the rate. Absolute max.
Yeah.
Throw one, launch one.
But bear in mind,
Your hour.
bear in mind, if your riflemen collaborate intelligently, let's say you have 4 riflemen in a squad, that's 48 grenades.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's so many.
So,
Yeah, you will not be... Well,
96 grenades.
Correct. Well, because also double that with...
Oh yeah, true. Because if you bring the launchables,
You bring the launchers.
48 throwable grenades.
Times what? $20 per grenade?
Yeah.
Let's do more math.
Jim's brain broke.
You can bring a lot of money in pyro still. So don't treat the cap like it's going to be super limiting, because it's not. It just brings balance to people who are like, I'm going to bring a backpack of grenades. We're not doing that.
I will remind you, because I know how much Jim loves grenades and people with 203s. Okay. It is going to be Pennsylvania in July. There will be foliage. They may not be the most reliable weapon.
So another function of our platoon leaders is we're talking a lot about these caps and these rules and these specific things, and I'm sure that you're thinking, okay, but do these have any teeth? Like, who's enforcing that? Well, your platoon leaders are. The guys who are going to be in charge of you all day. And also other players who are trusted players that we're going to have be in charge of random squads, or players that we're just going to have playing who know us and know our vision and know what we're trying to do. So don't you worry. Everyone's going to be playing by the same rules, because we are enforcing these rules. And if you try to break the game by metagaming or cheesing or smuggling in stuff you're not supposed to have, we'll kick you out.
Yeah. Gun Gamer's philosophy since forever has been, you're playing airsoft. You're already a loser. No one's going to win.
Yeah.
So don't bring stuff to win the game. We're all there just being nerds on a weekend.
Yeah.
Just come for fun, man.
Don't spend your money on a ticket to our games if you don't want to play our games the way we designed our games to be played. You're not going to have a good time. We're going to be salty. You're going to be salty. Everyone around you is going to be salty. You might as well have saved that money. Buy a ticket because you want to play our game.
Yeah, also, we're having probably more... We're having a very high percentage of staff embed compared to what you are probably used to seeing. So every platoon leader is going to have it, plus there's going to be more. So there's going to be a lot of authority and admin powers at every place, at every point events are going on. So if there's ever problems, it allows us to quickly address them. And, so you can expect that all sides are going to be treated equally at all times.
And you know what else that can stop? is that salt where people get mad and do
Yes.
if you read the rules, that guy that Eric
Yes.
talks about, where you're like yelling at people because they're not calling their hits. Your platoon lead's right there. He's staff. Go talk to him. He'll deal with it.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not on you. Just keep
That's the
playing.
thing. It's not your job.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if you're having some kind of problem and you're getting really upset at
Send it up
someone
to
else
the
doing
man.
something wrong, that's not your problem. You paid to be here.
Yeah.
Go get one of the people who are paid to be here to deal with it.
Yeah.
All right, another thing we're doing a little bit differently is we are not even listing our chrono in feet per second.
No.
And that's because it never should have been done that way. Sorry.
Since the start of Airsoft.
Yeah.
Never should have been done that way. So we're doing chrono strictly with joule energy limits. So standard energy limit is 1.5 joules. Boosted energy limit for medium machine guns is 2.09 joules. I'll say immediately that was to keep with industry standard.
Yep, exactly.
And then we've got the marksman rifle, also to keep with industry standard.
Yes.
2.89 joules.
So yeah, we don't want people to have to rework on all your guns to meet some new standard we came up with.
No,
Right?
all
Pretty much
of our
everyone's
classes
consistent
are
with
within
these.
the same as the industry standard.
Yeah.
Nothing weird.
Yes, which is why we went with 1.5 joules for rifles and pistols and all standard velocity,
Yep.
because that is right around 400 feet per second with 0.2s, 360 feet per second with 2.5s, and some amount with 2.8s. But
Yeah.
then you've got the 2.09 joules, which is what, like 450-ish almost?
Yeah,
I think,
so
yeah, around
450.
there.
Yeah.
If you really need to look, because I know some people, definitely there's people without chrono stuff. There's charts online. Go look up the conversions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Go
fine.
grab a Coke can, shoot the bag of it.
Don't be that guy. Do not do that. Do not come up to the chrono station and go, no, I checked with a Coke can. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
good.
And we are going to be hard on chrono. If your gun doesn't meet the energy limit for the class that it has the physical characteristics for,
That's it.
You can't
yeah,
use it.
you
That's
can't
it.
use it.
Which,
Like,
if you feel like you have a gun that's on the border, either get it checked well in advance and make sure you got like a 10 FPS-ish buffer, you know? Or bring a second one. You don't want to see people not being able to play, so bring a spare gun or just make sure you got a little bit of wiggle room. Again, it's going to be a hot day. If you have like a gas gun,
They creep up in the
it might
heat.
creep
Yeah.
up a little. And like you said, we're going to be firm on that limit. So
Yeah.
just
Also,
be
if
able
you
to-
have an HPA gun and you're going to run, you have an HPA DMR build or an HPA bolt gun, make sure you chrono it with fours. You know, don't be like, oh, I threw 3 2s in it passed. No, we're going to be testing for the weight that you're going to be using to avoid joule creep issues.
which is another benefit of the issued ammo, but
So I thought of something actually to mention here with Chrono. Did you say we're going to check lasers?
yes, we are going to check lasers as well.
That's a new thing for most companies. I
Yeah.
really have never had someone check it, which
Yeah.
is I love it.
Well, we've been talking about this for 4 years now.
Yeah.
Is
We've
it
been complaining and trying to get people on board with it, and
Yeah.
some of the other event promoters have started, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have a hard limit of we are actually going to be running lasers. We bought a laser measuring device.
Yep.
And we are going to have it at Chrono. And if you are coming out and you have a laser mounted on your gun, you should fully expect to be running that laser through our laser meter. And if it does not meet FDA iSafe standards, we will ask you to remove it and leave it in your car.
Yep.
So if you've got like a full power PEQ that you got from someone who took it off a truck, put that blue training screw in, because if you can even turn it to full power,
Yep.
we're going to ask,
Don't do
hey,
it.
where's that training screw? And if it's not in there, we're going to tell you to leave it in your car. We really don't want people burning out each other's eyeballs with laser stupidity, especially for our games. We're only looking at a few hours a night play.
Correct. And for those of you, obviously, if you don't know if your laser devices are going to be iSafe, easy rule of thumb to go by, because there's rarely an exception to it, is if it's not a US made laser or a real steel brand laser, chances are it will not pass. If it's airsoft, expect it to fail.
Or if it's Russian.
Or if it's Russian.
Like you would honestly be shocked at the level of high power that some of those clones put out.
Yeah.
It's
We've tested a lot of them, and some of them are concerning. So, yeah. Basically, if you have a Chinese laser, expect it to fail.
Yeah. So make sure your lasers are iSafe. We will be asking you not to bring iSafe or non-iSafe lasers on the field. Excuse me.
touch on the fact that we are going into night play.
Yeah, that's
There is
true
some night
because
play.
this is a 12-hour game and we
Yeah.
start at 11 in the morning, we are going to have the whole morning dedicated to the briefing.
Yep.
Well, not the briefing, just the briefing. Holy shit, can you imagine? There's 8 a.m. to 11 p.m.
4-hour briefing. Jim's giving it. There's an hour point.
To talk for 7 hours and then we're going on a walk.
Yeah, no, we're going to have check-in, chrono, briefing. That'll all be like 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. And then we're going to
11
have...
a.m.
Oh my god, wow. 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then we're going to have 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. But obviously, it gets dark at some point.
Yeah.
Probably around maybe 8-ish in the
8 to
woods.
9,
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the tree cover's pretty thick down there. It'll probably be by 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll probably start to get real dark. In regards to playing at night, generally, if you don't have night vision, which is most airsofters, that's fine. Bring a flashlight. It'll work because it's only a few hours. It's not like you have to run through the entire night span undermanned. Also, we are going to have tracer BBs. So if you have a tracer, bring it.
Yep.
Also, if you can't, if you're like worried about giving away your position, all that, bring a red light, man. Like, nods will still see you, but more people will not have night vision than will, I would bet.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, bring a red light. At least then you're not tripping over trees and killing yourself.
Yeah.
But you can still see. Yeah. Also, we did not check the moon phases. I have no clue how it's going to be, and if your nods sucks to suck.
Bring an illuminator, nerd.
It really shouldn't matter. We're going to be under tree cover.
Expect no illumination.
No illumination.
Yeah. Speaking of tree cover, that brings us to the facility that we're hosting at. It's Skirmish Paintball in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
And I know some people are probably hearing that name and like, oh, it's a paintball facility? That sounds lame. It is over 300 acres just for the portion that we're going to be using during the day game.
Yes.
It's enormous. If you look this place up on Google Maps, there's a tiny little spot, and that's the parking. And all the rest of it is playable.
Yeah.
No, it's good. There's so you get that mix of some small like towns, some places that are just like cover and tanks and stuff like that, and then other places that are just like wide open woods and trails.
It's a huge variety.
So you get a lot of variety of terrain, which I love, because if I'm just in CQB, I'm done. I'm bored.
Yeah.
And if I'm just in the woods, half the other people are the same. They're like, oh, God, another tree. Great. Where's the guy? By the tree. Awesome.
And we get 12 hours in this place. We're probably going to see this entire field twice over.
Correct.
Well, and part of the design of what we did, the field is so large, and the way we're designing it, all the players are going to be able to see huge swaths of this. You're going to see every inch of this AO as we work the different platoons through the different areas. It's going to be a good time.
Thinking about the field, it is not exceptionally difficult terrain with like elevation changes and stuff like that. But there is varied terrain. There's some marshy areas, there's some wet areas, there's some thickets, some brush, all that stuff. So
how I would explain it is it's flat but not fast.
Right. So have boots, have good ankle support.
Yes.
Have, actual like clothing on. Don't
Have really nice socks.
Yeah.
And probably at least an extra pair.
Bring a spare pair of socks.
Always. If you're out more than 6 hours, have spare socks.
Yeah.
No shorts. I don't want to see any hammies.
Fine. I won't do it. That's fine.
I know you have those shorts.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Also, highly recommend treating your clothing with insect repellent.
Yep.
Because it's going to be peak tick season, and Lyme disease is scary. Ultimately, our goal, our core tenet, if I had to put it down to one thing, is we want a game that's loose enough to be fun for all levels of experience, but organized enough that everyone gets to have those cool guy moments and do that cool guy stuff and do the missions and be involved in the chain of command and not feel like they're getting left out in the cold.
Yeah.
We want everybody to come in and feel like I worked within a really cohesive unit and had a lot of really cool fun missions. Win or lose, live or die, take the point, don't take the point, whatever. It was fun and it was cool, and now I get to go home and feel like I got to spend 12 hours doing this incredibly cool thing.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just going to put it out there as the unpopular opinion. Even if you're like the platoon that sometimes, let's say this rotation, this few minutes, you get stuck on the defense and you have to sit back at like a point, right? That's not always the boring point.
No.
No. If you're the one platoon there and you have 30 seconds of this, it's boring. $5 says 2 minutes later, you're going to have 2 platoons roll up on you. Way less boring, suddenly. So, like, don't get complacent.
There's always a purpose to everything.
We've all been in that scenario, and it was awesome. So, like, I would love to do that to you.
You hear that, Jim?
Do it to him, don't you?
But yeah, I think that's pretty much a good primer.
Come out and join Primeval.
Yeah,
or
tan
Bros.
team,
No, don't.
green team. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be really cool. All of the information is going to be linked in the description and available at all the different places mentioned in the end card. And we're very excited about it. I'm really jealous I don't get to play this game, actually.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Which is why Jim and I just love hyping it up more. It's just watching Eric's. He's excited and sad at the same time, and that's fun for us.
But yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this answered some questions about what you're actually spending money on if you decide to come to this game. And we hope to see you there, or perhaps at a future event from, as Jim so eloquently put it, Giggle P.
Giggle me.
This should not take off like this.
So thank you very much for watching. I've been Eric.
Kyle.
Jim.
Lutz.
And thank you again. Peace.
Thank you for watching, and thank you to the industry partners of Gun Gamers Productions. If you'd like to learn more about our games, be sure to check out our website or find us on social media.